What's going on, Leaf Nation? Grab your double-doubles, kick back, and pull up a chair because we need to talk about a massive curveball that just hit the offseason. You've probably been refreshing your feeds hoping for a blockbuster trade, but a new report suggests the Toronto Maple Leafs might take a completely different route to move on from Morgan Rielly, a contract buyout. Yep, you heard that right. Instead of shipping him off, the front office might just bite the bullet. And trust me, this is going to spark some serious debates at the cottage this weekend. Now let's be real for a second and look at the tape. We all love Morgan, and he's been an absolute cornerstone of this franchise for years. But between us and the goalposts, he's just not the elite ice-tilting defenseman the Leafs desperately need to win a cup. At a $7.5 million cap hit, the front office is stuck in a quagmire. His defensive lapses have been heavily scrutinized, and when you're paying top-pairing money but getting second-pairing results in your own end, the math just stops making sense for a team in win-now mode. Usually, when a team wants to move a veteran, they immediately look for a trade partner, but here's the massive kicker. Rielly has a full no-movement clause, meaning he completely controls his destination. On top of that, his trade value across the league has taken a hit because other GMs know Toronto is desperate. Even if the Leafs find a team willing to take him, Toronto would almost certainly have to retain a massive chunk of that salary just to get a deal done. There's no magical scenario where they get that full $7.5 million off the books without giving up premium draft capital. Enter the buyout option. The math is actually pretty tempting for the front office. If they pull the trigger, they'd save a pretty penny against the cap year over year in the short term. Because of how the NHL CBA calculates buyouts for players over 26, we're talking about bringing his cap hit down to around $4 million for the first 4 years. That frees up some serious dough, about $3.5 million in immediate cap space, giving the Leafs the breathing room to actually go chase other roster upgrades this summer. But hold your horses because there's a pretty big catch that every Leafs fan needs to know about. A buyout isn't just a get-out-of-jail-free card, it's basically a high-interest loan from the future. The dead cap space doesn't just magically disappear. Toronto would still be paying a portion of Rielly's salary, spread out over twice the remaining length of his deal. We are talking about dead cap hits stretching 8 years into the future. Imagine still seeing Rielly's ghost on the cap sheet taking up space when we're all hopefully raising a Stanley Cup banner in the early 2030s. So why even consider stretching the pain out that far? Well, it's all about the current cap landscape and the shrinking window for the core four. If the Leafs are desperately trying to use that cap space right now to sign a top-6 winger, a gritty two-way center, or a legitimate #1 defenseman, clearing that immediate salary is crucial. It's basically sacrificing future flexibility for present-day power fire. In the NHL, you don't win by saving cap space for a rainy day in 8 years. You win by maxing out your roster today. The other tough pill to swallow is that a buyout doesn't bring any hockey assets back to the organization. You aren't getting a first-round pick or a top prospect in return. You're purely doing it for cap gymnastics. But honestly, when you weigh it against the nightmare scenarios of trading him, like retaining half his salary just to get a mid-round pick back, taking the buyout route actually covers a lot of the same basis. It allows the team to completely sever ties without begging another GM to do them a massive favor. I know this is a lot to process, and it definitely stings to think about moving on from a homegrown guy who has battled through the injuries, the brutal playoff heartbreaks, and the relentless Toronto media scrums. He's the longest-tenured Leaf, a true beauty who has given everything to the crest. It's never easy watching a franchise legend potentially get shown the door, especially with dead cap hits lingering in the Scotiabank Arena. But hockey is a ruthless business, the salary cap is an unforgiving monster, and the mandate from ownership is clear: win right now. So, I'm turning it over to you guys in the comments because I know this is going to divide the fan base. Is buying out Morgan Rielly a necessary evil to finally win the cup and reshape the defensive core, or is it a terrible misuse of cap space that will haunt the Leafs for a decade? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's get a massive debate going in the comments section. Smash that like button if you appreciate the honest breakdown. Subscribe for more Leafs off-season madness. Keep your sticks on the ice, eh? And I'll catch you in the next one.